Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Physical settings of Nigeria. Relief. Relief refers to the surface features of the land above the sea level. Relief of Nigeria can be grouped into two main classes, which are lowlands and highlands. Areas of lowlands in Nigeria and their altitudes are 1. The Sokoto Plain in the northwest, 2. The Niger-Benue through Valley, 3. The Chad Basin or Borno Plain, 4. The Niger Delta, 5. The Cross River Basin. Rocks associated with lowlands include 1. The coastal plain. This includes sedimentary rocks of alluvial deposits. 2. Niger-Benue Trail. This includes sedimentary rocks of limestone, sandstone, and shale. 3. Sokoto Plain. This includes sand, clay, sandstone, and limestone. 4. Chad Basin. This is made up of sand and clay. Rocks generally known to be associated with lowlands are the sedimentary rocks. The highlands. The highlands refer to areas over 300 meters above the sea level. The areas of highlands in Nigeria and their height of altitude include 1. The North Central Highlands. It lies in the center of northern Nigeria around Kano, Kaduna, Bauchi, Jigawa, and Plateau states. 2. The Western Highlands. The Western Highlands is found in the western part of Nigeria around Ondo, Oyo, Kwara, Osun states. 3. The Eastern Highlands. These are found in the borders between Nigeria and Cameroon. They represent the highest zone in Nigeria. Among the mountains are 1. Mandara Mountain, 2. Biu Plateau, 3. Adamawa Mountain. 4. The Eastern Scarpland. This is found within the eastern region of Nigeria, especially around Enugu and Nsukka. The major highland in this area is the Udi-Nsukka Plateau. Rivers Anambra, Imo, and Cross have their sources from this scarpland. Major rock types in highlands: 1. North Central Plateau, Western Highlands, Mandara Mountain, Shepshi, Alantika, Obudu, and urban hills are made up of basement complex rocks. 2. Jos Plateau is made up of volcanic rocks. 3. Udi Hills are made up of carboniferous sedimentary rocks. Importance of lowlands: 1. Plains, especially level 1s, are good for human habitation. Population and settlements are usually concentrated on plains. 2. Some plains are rich sources of minerals like petroleum and coal. 3. Plains, especially the positional plains, have rich fertile soils which favor intensive agriculture. Importance of highlands include 1. Sources of minerals. Some mountains are some sources of good minerals like tin, gold, diamond, and so on. 2. Formation of rainfall. High mountains aid the formation of rainfall. 3. Climatic barriers. Some mountains serve as climatic barriers because their two sides may have different climates. 4. As tourist centers. Some high mountains are centers for tourist attraction. 5. For defense. Mountains are useful in times of intertribal wars for easy defense against enemies. Drainage of Nigeria. Drainage refers to water bodies like rivers and lakes. Drainage of Nigeria is discussed in two parts: rivers and lakes. Rivers in Nigeria include 1. River Niger. Nigeria is drained by two main rivers, that is, River Niger and Benue. River Niger is the largest river in Nigeria. It has its source from Guinea Highlands in Guinea. It passes through Mali and Niger Republic to Nigeria. 2. River Benue. River Benue has its source from Eastern Highlands and joins the Niger at Lokoja. Because of this, Lokoja is known as a confluence town. Other rivers in Nigeria take their sources from highlands in Nigeria known as hydrologic centers. These are 1. Western highlands. These include rivers such as Ogun, Osun, which flow directly into the Atlantic Ocean. 2. North Central highlands. They have such rivers as Kaduna, Hadejia, Zamfara, Yobe. Plateau. 3. North Central highlands include Kaduna, Hadejia, Zamfara, Yobe, Ghana, Gongola, and Rima. 3. Eastern highlands. They have rivers like Donga and Castina Ala. 4. Eastern Caplands. They have rivers like Anambra and Cross River. Characteristics of Nigerian rivers. 1. The volume of the rivers changes with season. The volume of water increases during the rainy season and decreases during the dry season. 2. Presence of rapids and cataracts. Most rivers have rapids and cataracts which impede or disturb inland navigation. Presence of debris. Most Nigerian rivers do have lots of debris like dead leaves, mud, wood, and so on. Short courses with high speed. Most rivers are usually very short and flow rapidly or swiftly. Example, rivers Ogun, Osun, and Cross River. 5. Specific direction of flow. Rivers in the south flow in the north-south direction into the sea, while rivers in the north flow in a radial pattern to different directions. 6. Shallowness. Most rivers are very shallow and full of silt associated with high evaporation and seepage of water into the soil. 7. The color changes with season. The rivers have muddy and dirty color during rainy seasons, but remain clear and clean during dry season. 8. Seasonality. Most rivers flow during rainy season, but stop or reduce flowing during the dry season. Importance of Nigerian rivers. 1. They serve as a medium of transportation from one place to another. 2. They are used for generation of hydroelectric power. 3. Irrigation purpose. Water from rivers are used for irrigation purposes. 4. Domestic use. Water from rivers is used for various domestic purposes such as cooking, washing, bathing, and so on. Industrial uses. Water from rivers is also required by many industries such as textile, chemical, and brewery industries. 6. Provision of employment. Rivers do provide employment to many people. Example, fishermen, canoe, and shipbuilders. River basin. This refers to the area generally drained by a river and its tributaries. They are also called catchment area. In Nigeria, there are 5 major. 1. The Niger Basin. 2. The Benue Basin. 3. The Chad Basin. 4. The Cross River Basin. And 5. The South Atlantic Basin. The rivers in these basins are grouped in 3 classes. 1. Long rivers with large basin. 2. Short rivers with small basin. 3. Rivers in basins of inland drainage. For long rivers with large basins, these rivers flow to the sea across long distances through the land. Example, rivers Niger and Benue. 2. Short rivers with small basin. These rivers also flow to the sea but are very short. Example, Osun, Ogun, and so on. Rivers in basins of inland drainage. These rivers do not reach the sea, but rather they flow into Lake Chad. Example, rivers Yobe, Hadejia, and Yerstam, and Ghana. Importance of river basin. As a result of the fact that river basins are depressed lowlands, it enables people to settle and build houses. 2. Some river basins with alluvial plains are fertile lands for agricultural purposes. 3. They enable people to transport themselves and their goods from one place to another. 4. Depressed or lowland areas do serve as deposits for minerals. 5. Water from rivers in the basins may be used for domestic and industrial purposes. Lakes in Nigeria. A lake is a body of water surrounded by land. The lakes in Nigeria are grouped into two major types. 1. Man-made or artificial lakes. Example, Lake Kainji and Shiroro Lake. 2. Natural lake, that is the Lake Chad. Importance of lakes include 1. For employment. 2. Provision of food, example fish. 3. Irrigation. 4. Development of the area. 5. Tourism. 6. Transportation. 7. Domestic uses. 8. Industrial uses. Climate. The temperature in Nigeria is not uniform and has the following characteristics. 1. Varies from place to place. 2. Varies with altitude. 3. Varies with seasons. And 4. Variation in annual range. For varies from place to place, temperature is low, that is 24 degrees centigrade in the south, because of the cooling effects of the Atlantic Ocean, while it is high in the north with over 28 degrees centigrade because of the distance from the sea. Varies with altitude. Places on high altitude like Jos, Obudu, and so on tend to have lower temperature, while the neighboring lowlands have temperature of over 27 degrees centigrade. It varies with seasons. Temperatures are usually higher during the rainy season in the north, but low in the south during dry season. Variation in annual range. The annual range of temperature in the south is between 2 to 3 degrees centigrade, while that of the north is 9 degrees centigrade. Wind. Wind is defined as air in motion. There are 4 local types of wind in Nigeria. 1. Tropical maritime air mass. This trade wind is responsible for rainy season. It blows across the Atlantic Ocean towards the coast of Nigeria. 2. Tropical continental air mass. This trade wind is responsible for the dry season. It blows across the Sahara Desert towards Nigeria. 3. Equatorial easterlies. This wind blows around the equator from the east. It has some influence on the northeast and southwest trade winds when they meet. 4. Lands and sea breeze. These local winds are restricted to the coast of Lagos, Warri, Port Harcourt, and so on. The sea breeze. This breeze blows from the sea to the land. During the day, the land is heated much faster than the sea, and it is cooler than the sea at night. The land breeze. This breeze blows from the land to the sea. At night, the land becomes cooler than the sea, having lost much of its temperature at a much faster rate than the sea. Seasons in Nigeria. In Nigeria, there are 2 types of seasons, namely 1. Wet or rainy season. This occurs between March and September. Characteristics of wet season. 1. High temperature. 2. Low temperature. 3. Prevailing wind. 4. Heavy rainfall. 2. The dry season. The dry season occurs between November and February. Characteristics of wet season. 1. High temperature. 2. Low pressure. 3. Prevailing wind. 4. Heavy rainfall. The dry season occurs between November and February. Characteristics include 1. Low temperature. 2. Prevailing wind. 3. High temperature. 4. Absence of rainfall. 5. Harmattan. The types of climate in Nigeria include 1. Sub-equatorial climate. 2. Tropical hinterland. 3. Tropical continental. 4. High plateau climate. 1. The sub-equatorial climate. It is found in the south in places such as Warri, Lagos, Calabar, Port Harcourt, and so on. It has heavy rainfall of over 2,500 mm per annum. 3. It has double maxima of rainfall. 4. There is no month without rainfall of at least 50 mm. Effects of sub-equatorial climate on agriculture. 1. Heavy rainfall gives rise to a growth of tree crops. 2. It gives rise to the growth of tuber crops like yam. 3. Heavy rainfall gives rise to double cropping. The tropical hinterland. This climate is found in forest areas like Ibadan, Ilorin, Akure, Osogbo, and so on. Its effects on agriculture include 1. Moderate rainfall gives rise to the growth of crops found in both north and south. 2. Moderate rainfall gives rise to the growth of yam, cassava, cocoyam, and so on. 3. Both root crops like yam and grain crops like rice, maize, millets are grown. The tropical continental or the dry climate. This is called the Sudan climate. This climate is found in Sokoto, Bauchi, Kano, Borno, and so on. Its effects on agriculture. 1. Little rainfall brings about irrigation. 2. Little rainfall favors the growth of grain crops. 3. Little rainfall supports livestock production like cattle, sheep, and goats. 4. The high plateau climate. Take 2. The high plateau climate. 1. This climate is found around highland areas like Jos, Adamawa, Obudu, Mambila Plateau. 2. It has heavy rainfall around Jos and it environs with 2,000 mm. Its effects on agriculture include 1. Heavy rainfall leads to contour plowing. 2. Heavy rainfall supports the growth of tree crops like coffee. 3. Moderate rainfall in lowlands support the growth of grasses for cattle rearing. Vegetation. The vegetation in Nigeria can be grouped into 3 major zones. 1. The forest zone or vegetation. The forest zone contains mainly trees and has the following forest belts: 1. Mangrove swamp forest, and 2. Rainforest. We have the savanna zone or vegetation. This savanna zone is made up of mainly grasses and is further divided into 3 savanna belts: 1. Guinea savanna, 2. Sudan savanna, 3. Sahel savanna. C. The montane vegetation. This is found in highland areas like Jos and Adamawa with trees and grasses. The mangrove swamp forest is a vegetation found mainly in delta and coastal areas. The rainforest is found in southern part of Nigeria. The Guinea savanna is found in Enugu, Lokoja, Ilorin. The Sudan savanna is found in Sokoto, Katsina, Kaduna, Kano. The Sahel savanna is found in Maiduguri and Damaturu. The montane savanna is found in Jos and Adamawa areas. Soils in Nigeria. The soils in Nigeria can be grouped into 4 major zones. 1. Zone of lateral soils. 2. Zone of sandy soils. 3. Zone of forest soils. 4. Zone of alluvial soils. The zone of lateral soils are found in interior zone of Nigeria like Jos, Makurdi, Minna, Enugu, Abuja. The zone of sandy soils are found in the extreme northern part of Nigeria like Sokoto, Katsina, Kano, and so on. The zone of forest soils are found in the southern belts of Nigeria like Ibadan, Akure, Abeokuta. The zone of alluvial soils are found in Ilorin, Lokoja, and Niger Delta, areas of Warri, Calabar, and Port Harcourt, and so on. Soil erosion. This is defined as the removal of the top layer of the soil through various agents like water and wind. Two problems associated with soils in Nigeria are soil erosion and desert encroachment. There are two main types of soil erosion. These are: 1. Soil erosion caused by water. These include rill erosion, sheet erosion, gully erosion. For the soil erosion caused by wind, these include northwest of Nigeria, northeast of Nigeria. The causes: 1. Deforestation, 2. Bush burning, 3. Overgrazing, 4. Cultivation along slope, 5. Excessive rainfall. The effects include: 1. Soil erosion causes the removal of top fertile soil. 2. It leads to loss of farmlands. 3. It can result in loss of lives and properties. 4. It leads to the damage of roads and railway lines. For control: 1. Afforestation, 2. Reforestation, 3. Controlled grazing, 4. Contour plowing, 5. Cover cropping, 6. Terracing, and so on. Desert encroachment. This is the extension or spread of the desert to areas which were originally not deserts before. It is common in areas very close to desert, example Nigeria, Damaturu, Sokoto, Benin, Kebbi. Causes of desert encroachment: 1. Overgrazing, 2. Changes in climate, 3. High speed of winds, 4. Bush burning, 5. Shifting climatic belts, 6. Deforestation. Its effects include: desert encroachment can lead to displacement of people and settlement. 2. It leads to crop failure or poor yield of crops. 3. It could affect serious farming activities. 4. It could cause the loss of pasture or livestock. 5. It could result in hot and dusty environment. 6. It leads to shortage of water for animal and human consumption. To control desert encroachment, the following could be done: 1. Afforestation, 2. Irrigation, 3. Creation of shelter beds, 4. Cover cropping, 5. Rotational grazing.